on SNL. Is like,
Good morning and welcome to another episode of the Football Feed with Queen City News Feed. I'm Cash Matlock. I'm joined by Rob Allen. Rob, how you feeling this morning?
I'm feeling fantastic, and I'm going to tell you why I'm feeling fantastic, because I don't have a game to call tomorrow night.
Yay. You said it was a bye week for you,
Yay!
right? Yeah.
Freedom!
Freedom.
For one night. Well, not really, because I've got basketball tomorrow night, so it never ends.
Well, major freedom is almost here, right? I mean, we are at the end of the season.
I guess we could call this like the playoff edition, because, I mean, basically every team in the area is starting playoffs tomorrow night. There's a handful of regular season games for some of the upper classifications, but yeah, we're kind of getting toward the end of high school football season, which is amazing.
Does that mean we're going to start kind of seeing teams kind of just drop off and be done?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, that's kind of the way it goes. You know, you start in mid to late August, and then before you know it, we're here in November, and that's the harsh reality. Things have to come to an end. So
it's crazy. And I was talking yesterday, I've noticed that the leaves are starting to change, and maybe I'm crazy.
Okay.
But did they not change in October when we were younger? Like, because I remember going to football practice.
That is a fair point.
In middle school.
Yeah, that is a fair point. Yeah.
And I would notice, like, every time I drive to practice, the leaves would be darker, like, throughout the month of October, or brighter, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like everything's green until November.
I know, it's amazing. Well, but the weather hasn't been, like, super duper cold. Now, that's going to change first of next week. I don't know if you noticed this or not, but Saturday it's going to be like 80 degrees for a high, and then of course by Monday it's going to be down to freezing Monday night into Tuesday. So, but anyway,
Helen says you called it. Head coach shakeups.
Yep, we'll go to the casino later. Let's go. We'll put it all on black on the table. So
I'm telling you, every time you make a prediction, it usually comes to fruition. You said a couple things this throughout this series.
Old Nostradamus over here, so yeah, it's just a lucky break. I'll take them where I can get them. So.
All right, Rob, let's get things started with our sponsors here. First up, I do want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Tammy Thompson's Bail Bonds 101, an official sponsor of the Football Feed. If you need help fast, Tammy Thompson's Bail Bonds 101 is always on call, serving Lauderdale, Clark, Newton, and surrounding counties with confidential 24/7 support. You can go visit Tammy at 600 Constitution Avenue in downtown Meridian, Mississippi, or you can call her at 601-513-9588 anytime. And I do believe that first consultation is free, Rob,
Nice.
which, you may have to cash that in soon.
I don't know. With having no game tomorrow night, I better be careful. So.
I know. All right, I'll let you have the next one.
Absolutely. Got to thank Jason and the staff down at All-Star Team Sports. Of course, if it's uniforms, customized apparel, polos, whatever it is, All-Star Team Sports can do it for you. I just mentioned basketball season's kicking up this week around the area. Soccer is getting rolling as well. So whatever you need for all those matches or games there in the gym, All-Star Team Sports has got it. And I will say that one thing, a lot of the uniforms I've seen from All-Star on the field this year have been pretty sharp. So they do a lot of great work down there at All-Star Team Sports near downtown Meridian. That is Jason and the staff at All-Star Team Sports.
A lot of the uniforms here at work are pretty sharp.
Exactly. Right? Yeah, there you see the number on your screen, 483-7385.
All right, and next up we want to also say a big thank you to our sponsor, Ujjwal Kumar with the Dillard's Men's Department at Uptown Meridian. He is also an official sponsor. He's also an expert with men's fashion. Whether you want something new or you want to spruce up what you already have, kind of freshen it up, he can personalize things for you. He's got attentive service. You just go to Dillard's, you ask for Ujjwal in the men's department, or you can give him a call at 601-686-1129. And he's dressed both me and Rob, and he's very good at what he does.
I know whenever I went to my class reunion, everybody's like, look at you. And I was like, yeah, all right, 25 years, not looking bad. So thank you, Ujjwal.
Yes, thank you, Ujjwal. And last but not least.
Yeah, absolutely. Brickhaus, of course, located at 2206 Front Street, downtown Meridian. If you're looking for a place to unwind, the largest selection of craft beer in Mississippi, some great handcrafted food. Of course, they are the spot, whether you're catching the game, hanging out with friends, or just kicking back after a long week. Brickhaus has you covered. And, of course, Bill's got to say it. He's got to say go blue. Now, no Michigan game this week. They got a bye week. But, of course, they've been playing pretty good ball as of late. But go down there and unwind this weekend. Catch a lot of great games on the TVs there at Brickhaus. It's where Mississippi goes to unwind. That is BrickhausBrewtique.com.
Go blue.
Go blue, the Michigan Wolverines.
Right. We also want to remind everybody that you could pretty much listen to this wherever podcasts are streamed, okay? So we've got Apple Podcasts, iHeart, Podbean, Amazon, Spotify, Player FM, Podchaser, Boomplay. And this show, we put it out everywhere. QueenCityNewsFeed.com, Queen City Newsfeed Facebook page, of course, the YouTube channel. We appreciate everybody watching, and we just want to remind you guys that you can listen to it anywhere you want to listen to it, okay?
Is that like one of them little scanny things on the screen? Is that a QR?
Oh, yeah, that's a QR code.
I call it, I'm so redneck, the little scanny thing. The little scanny thing.
On the screen there.
Yeah, scan that little thing on the screen. So, but yeah, that's awesome. Good stuff.
And speaking of us being absolutely everywhere and broadcasting everywhere, why don't we start out with the 3 games that we broadcast, Rob?
Well, actually, it'll be 2 this week because Lamar's got the bye week this week. But we do have 2 games on the schedule. Lamar with the bye week, obviously, and we'll talk more about that coming up later on. But West Lauderdale and Morton and Meridian and Brandon. Now, Meridian is going to play tonight. Okay. This is the last regular season ball game. This is pretty much going to do it for Meridian. Unfortunately, they are out of the playoff picture. They're going to take on a Brandon team that has had a very much up and down year. They were pretty much thought highly of as being like a top 5 team coming in.
Yeah.
Well, their head coach, Lance Pogue, resigned in mid-season, so they've had to go to an interim coach there at Brandon. And this is a big game for Brandon because they're trying to fight to get back in the playoff picture, but it's been a tough road. Playing for Pride tonight, and they'll go over there and try to have a good showing. But that game will be tonight at 7 o'clock. Of course, you can catch it over on 95.1 The Beat. And, of course, Neil Henry and Charlie Lockley do an amazing job. They've been a great team together in their first year. And, of course, they had Mayor Percy Bland this past week on the Citizens National Bank halftime show. So those are always real fun. So.
And tonight on the halftime show, Rob, they're going to have LeBaron Hedgeman. He is the Bishop of Freedom Rock Cathedral.
Fantastic.
So that is going to be good. He always does good. Neil Henry always does really good halftime interviews. So looking forward to that one for sure. Yep.
So that'll be tonight at 7 o'clock. And there's a couple of other there's one other game tonight on the Thursday schedule. Wayne County is at Northeast Jones. So, like I said, very light schedule tonight as far as games go. And then there's one other regular season game I'll mention real quick. Neshoba Central is going to play at Callaway. That game will be tomorrow night. So that's it for the regular season. And Cash, it's really unusual the way they do this because you would think all classifications would start playoffs tomorrow night, but what this is, since there's not as many teams in 1A, and I believe it's like 5 or 6A and then 7A, they have an extra week of regular season. So you'll see like 2A, 3A, and 4A are all going tomorrow night. So we may see a few more playoff teams start next week, but that's the reason you see a little bit of kind of a skewed schedule this week. So
very, very different there.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I guess it's normal for this time of year, though.
It is. I mean, we've been dealing with this since they increased the classifications to 7A because, of course, Meridian is one of those 7A schools in our area. It used to be a 5A, then it went to 6A. Now it's 7A, but it's just the changes they've made over the years with the MHSA. But, yeah, good luck to the Wildcats. I know it's been a tough road, but hopefully they'll finish off strong and play hard tonight. So.
All right. Well, you want to talk about any other games in our area as far as high school?
Yeah, well, of course, we'll go to the next one right here, the playoff game for West Lauderdale. Now, there has been a change in the location of this football game. This came down late.
I did hear about that.
Late yesterday. They are actually going to play this game at East Central Community College in Decatur now. So this came pretty late down the news wire from West Lauderdale. I think the reasoning behind that is there is some expected rain tomorrow, and I don't think they want to play on a good surface. Obviously, it's a playoff game. You want that to be pretty important. So East Central's got the turf field, and it's kind of a halfway point too for West Lauderdale and Morton to kind of meet over there in Decatur and play tomorrow night. But West Lauderdale is the 4 seed in this situation. Morton is the top seed. So West Lauderdale's had one of those strange seasons where usually they're the better team coming in as far as seeding goes, and they would usually host this game in Collinsville, but they're going to have to go on the road. And it's going to be a tough assignment for Morton. Well, I say on the road, it's a neutral site game, but I'm pretty sure the West folks will still travel well. But going to be a tough task for West Lauderdale. I know it's been a kind of a learning curve, growing pains type season, but if you can't make the short drive to Decatur tomorrow night, Q101's got the game, so it should be a good one.
And the website.
That's right, the app and the website.
You ever had the fried chicken at ECCC?
The what?
The fried chicken at the cafeteria? At
No,
East Central?
no, but I've stopped by that wonderful burger place there close to Decatur many
We
times.
talking about Ward?
Yeah.
What you know about Ward?
When in Decatur, you must stop.
No, but seriously, the cafeteria at East Central, that's some good fried chicken.
Most cafeterias nowadays at these colleges are pretty darn good.
Oh, yeah.
Now, when I was at MCC, the magical place to go was the ice cream machine.
Yes.
Soft serve, clutch, and when it went down, you would have thought you were going to have an organized sit-in, like the ice cream machine's broke.
That's me at 11 p.m. at the McDonald's drive-thru. I'm like, what do you mean the blizzards are down?
Oh, come on, man!
McFlurry. That's
the
what it is,
McFlurry. Yeah, unbelievable.
What do you mean?
So-
And they just turned the machine off.
Exactly.
But
Shout out
anyway.
to cafeterias everywhere.
All right, back on track. Southeast Lauderdale at Seminary. Right?
Yeah, and there's a look at real quick. Those are the regular season games for one tonight, and of course that one tomorrow night with Neshoba and Callaway. So Wayne County and Neshoba, they'll start their playoffs next week. Okay. So that's a look at those real quick. Here's the rest of the local games going on right here. These are all playoff games on your screen right here. Southeast Lauderdale, they had probably one of the slowest starts of anyone in the area, but they bounced back, got into the playoff picture. They'll be a lower seed going to Seminary. Clarkdale, they got in. I know they got thumped pretty good by Heidelberg this past week, but Clarkdale will be in the postseason. They'll go to Scott Central. That game will be tomorrow night. Now, Russell Christian and Jacksonville Christian. Now, this is a state championship game, by the way. 8-man football is a little bit different. They have a shorter playoff system. Yeah. So Russell going for a championship tomorrow night against Jacksonville Christian. I believe traditionally this game has been played over in Tuscaloosa. So good luck to Russell Christian. Some other area games, Newton at Heidelberg. That'll be a tough chore there for Heidelberg. Now, I'm not sure what they're going to do. We've talked about this since, unfortunately, the shooting happened.
Yeah.
If
they have different safety precautions.
Yeah, they've got a lot of those safety precautions. I don't know if they're going to adjust the kickoff time for this game or not. The last time Heidelberg played at home, they played it like at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'm not sure if they're going to do that or not, but Heidelberg will be hosting Newton. You got Newton County and Mendenhall. Choctaw Central, who West Lauderdale just defeated this past week, will be over at Forest. Kemper County hosting J.Z. George.
Never heard of that one, J.Z.
That's a new school for you there. You got Lake hosting Mize, Noxubee hosting Yazoo County, Louisville hosting Ripley, and here's some Academy playoff games for you. Newton County Academy hosting Claiborne out of Louisiana, and Wayne Academy going down to Riverfield in Louisiana. So a few local playoff games for the academies this week.
Yeah,
so.
for sure.
Now, Lamar, of course, not playing this week.
Right.
They have a bye. Their next game will be next Friday. It will be a home game. They will play either the winner, I believe it's Cathedral out of Natchez, or they'll play Pillow Academy out of Greenwood, Mississippi.
Ooh.
So both those teams will have a very lengthy road trip coming to Meridian next week. And if Lamar wins next Friday, they will head to the state championship.
So that'll be an advantage. Maybe they'll tire out.
Yeah, so, and for folks that root on the Lamar Raiders, if they make the state championship, it will not be on a Friday. It will be on a Saturday the following weekend, which is going to be very odd to call a championship game on a Saturday. But don't want to think too far ahead, but just in case they do win next Friday, which they should, being a home game, they would go on to the state championship on a Saturday.
Okay.
So.
Good information to know, and we'll definitely remind people of that the closer it gets.
Yep, absolutely.
If it comes to that. All right, awesome. So let's move on down to college. And you want to start off with, do we have any JUCO to talk about?
We got one junior college game. That's East Mississippi and Mississippi Gulf Coast. This East East was the only team in our area to get into the JUCO playoffs. Of course, they got a big win against Holmes last Thursday night to kind of punch their ticket to get into the postseason and win the North Division. They're taking on Gulf Coast. Now, this is a rematch from earlier this season. They played down at Gulf Coast, so now Gulf Coast has got to make the trip up to Scuba for a Saturday afternoon game. But East Mississippi, slow start. They're playing much better football. It's going to be a good one right here. Gulf Coast is a solid team, but East Mississippi, of course, we know the tradition of winning big games there in Scuba at Sullivan Wyndham Field. So it'll be a good one tomorrow. Not tomorrow afternoon, but Saturday afternoon. So
is the Mississippi Gulf Coast, are they the ones that have like the name of their band is like Golden something, or is that a different team?
I think so.
Like the Golden Band?
Yeah, something like that. These bands all have unique names.
Yes.
So
okay. And I remember there was like a bus accident last year, but I think everybody's okay. Anyway, moving on.
Wow.
Sorry,
Okay.
it's my news brain going.
Your news brain's always going.
Band of Gold.
Band of Gold.
Yes.
Okay, there you
Band
go.
of Gold. There we go. Okay, so thank you, producer Mackenzie. All right, so let's move it on to Lincoln University at West Alabama.
Yeah, West Alabama. West has lost 3 in a row. You know, after they started so well, they went to Valdosta last week, and that's a tough chore to go to Valdosta and win a football game. But they're back at Tiger Stadium this weekend. UWA. I would hope they would bounce back from this, but Coach Cochran still has done an amazing job in just his first season over there, but they'll look to break that 3-game losing streak at home on Saturday against Lincoln University. I believe, if I saw this correctly, this team's coming all the way from California to Mississippi to play. Wow. So that's a lengthy trip for them.
I hope it'll be worth it.
Yeah, I hope it will be worth it. Imagine the travel on
tell
that
them to
one.
eat some fried chicken or something.
Yeah, so, but good luck to the Tigers this weekend.
Awesome. Okay, Georgia at Mississippi State.
Yeah, that's a big one for State. You know, State finally got their first SEC win in a long while last weekend.
I chimed my cowbell.
Yeah, they did beat Arkansas. They finally, I think for State, a lot of people are like, well, they beat the worst team in the SEC. I get that. But you also have to look at it from a psychological standpoint. They finally got over the hump. You lose at the very end of Tennessee in overtime. You lose at the very end of Texas in overtime. You lost that heartbreaker to Florida. Could this team find a way to close the deal in the end? Well, they finally found a way to close the deal in the end. And, we'll kind of see what happens there. Georgia, they are what they are, a top 5 team. Remember, what have I said before? These 11 o'clock early kickoffs, they are scary for the road team. And you know as well as I do, that stadium is going to be packed. It's going to be loud. Georgia has not been as dominant as they have been. They've been taking care of what they need to take care of. But, State riding a little bit of momentum against a Georgia team. So we'll see what happens. I'm not saying State's going to pull the upset, but if you look at the way that the odds makers are betting on this game, they're only giving Georgia a touchdown advantage here. So that tells me right there they think State is riding a good weight of momentum here. But we'll see what happens. I think State's riding that way, but we'll see what happens. And Miss Helen's got a question here. Who's the next SEC coach to get the boot?
Who is it?
I think we're done with the firings right now. I mean, who else could you fire in the SEC right now? I mean, everybody's been fired. I don't see anybody else getting the boot right now. Levy's safe at State. Of course, Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss is kind of the diamond darling. Everybody's kind of, pulling on him to go.
We'll be able to finish out the season without any more, or?
I think we will. I think we're fine. I mean, because you got to remember, LSU is vacant. Arkansas, Auburn, Florida. I mean, that's a lot. And, of course, don't forget about Penn State up in the Northeast. You've got Virginia Tech. I mean, the list just goes. Oklahoma State, that's a big money program as well. I just don't think there's going to be any more firings unless just something catastrophic happens off the field-wise. But I think we're done with that. Okay. But as far as the State-Georgia game, SEC Nation's going to be there with Tim Tebow and Paul Feinbaum. Hardy's going to be performing up there. I mean, you've got Brandon Walker and his Barstool folks are going to be there. It's going to be a big atmosphere for an 11 a.m. kickoff on Saturday. So that's probably your big game of the week.
Okay, so that's the one we got our eye on.
Absolutely.
Okay, what about Citadel at Ole Miss?
Should be a snoozer. It's one of those games like, wow, the way that was scheduled toward the tail end of the season like this, because Ole Miss.
I don't think I've heard of the Citadel.
Yeah, I mean, Well, we do now. We've heard of them. They're playing Ole Miss.
Right.
But, this is one of those games, odd timing for the game because obviously the two big games that matter for Ole Miss are after this, Florida and, of course, the Egg Bowl with State. But if I was Lane Kiffin in this game, if you have a pulse and you have some skill, you're playing. Because this is one of those games you could work on a lot of your 2 and 3 deep guys. But yeah, Ole Miss should be fine in this one. So.
All right. And then Southern Miss at Arkansas State.
Tough road trip for Southern Miss. They just became bowl eligible. They had the bye week this past week. I like where the bye week landed here, going into a road trip at Arkansas State. Charles Huff, no doubt in my mind, Sun Belt Coach of the Year. He may be a name down the road. I don't know if it'll be this hiring cycle, but maybe next year, the year after, that some people may be running after because of what he's done in such a short period of time at Southern Miss. So, yeah, mark the tape on that one. Mark
Clip
the tape. Yeah, clip that beautiful bean footage. So, but yeah, Southern Miss be a big one right there.
All right, and then LSU at Alabama. We get a roll tide.
Let's go roll tide. Can I get a roll tide, brother?
Whoop them kitty cats.
Well, says. Well, this is one of those vacancies. LSU coming off a very odd week and a half. Mm-hmm. The governor of Louisiana, I'm just going to say this right now, he's probably a guy who needs to keep his mouth shut and just let the people at LSU focus.
Clip that.
Well, I mean, it's just I've never seen where a governor of a state has gotten involved in a coaching deal before. Right. Yeah. And I realized the buyout the buyout for Brian Kelly was a lot, and they did. I think it went from like 54 to down to like 20 something. So there was a lot of negotiating with some clauses in the contract, but LSU's in an odd spot right now. Yeah. But talking to some Alabama folks this week, I'm like, well, this should be a pretty easy ball game. They're like, sometimes a team like LSU coming in with nothing to lose, the coach has been fired. It's a dangerous team to handle sometimes. But night game, Tuscaloosa, it's going to be rowdy. I think Alabama's favored nearly a couple of touchdowns in this one. But Alabama, they were ranked top 5 in the first college football playoff release this week. But, man, where they have come to now is amazing. You lose that game to Florida State to start the year, and now you look up and they're right there where they think they should be. And it's amazing. You go back after that loss to Florida State, everybody wants to fire Kalen DeBoer. Got to get him out of here. Got to run him out of town. Now look at where they're at. Amazing how things can change just in a matter of just a few short weeks.
Oh, yeah. And speaking of governors getting involved, we'll be reaching out to Governor Tate Reeves to get his opinion.
I think Tate knows his lane a little bit better, maybe. Governor Landry down in Louisiana, that was just an odd deal to make those comments like he did. I mean, let the folks at the school handle it. I know that there's a lot of money that flies around with football, but sometimes it's better just to go seal the lips a little bit. So
I agree. Okay, Texas A&M at Missouri.
This is a interesting game for Texas A&M because they're the only undefeated team in the SEC right now, and with A&M going to Missouri, I wouldn't say this is a trap game for A&M, but Missouri's down to their third string quarterback. They've had a lot of injuries at quarterback, but A&M, they better be ready to go because that's a tiny little stadium at Missouri. If you remember, Alabama went there. Yeah. And nearly lost to Missouri. So A&M, I'm not saying a trap game, but just be on your toes here. Trap. You never know. So,
all right, Auburn at Vanderbilt.
There's one of the firings. Hugh Freeze got the old boot a few days ago. Actually, it was last Sunday when they let him go.
Remind me, Rob, when he left Ole Miss, was he fired? Or did he just leave?
Very much so.
So he's had the boot before.
Yeah, he likes to go get a massage every now and then. But anyway, just do the research on that one.
Oh God!
They're going
Our show's getting canceled.
Well, if you're going to go out with a blaze of glory, yeah.
We're at the end of the season.
We're at the end of the season. Yeah, well, we're not going to get renewed. They go to Vanderbilt this week, and of course, Vandy coming off their loss to Texas. You have to wonder where's the mentality of Auburn going into this. That's going to be the interesting chore for DJ Durkin, the interim coach. Auburn's played great defense. They just can't score anything. They lost 10-3 last week to Kentucky. And Hugh Freeze is this great offensive guru genius, Well, didn't work out so well. So he got the boot after 2+ years. But Vanderbilt, Vandy should win this game, but we'll see where Auburn's mindset's going to be at.
Okay. And Florida at Kentucky.
Ooh, this is kind of a miserable game right here. Well, Stoops is the only other guy, kind of wheeling back to Miss Helen's question about a coach to get the boot. If there would be one, it would be Stoops there at Kentucky. But the only problem is his buyout amount. The contract is so ridiculous.
It's astronomical.
I mean, can Kentucky afford to do that? Because you got to remember they put a lot of money in their basketball program there at Kentucky. So would they circle back around and buy him out for that ridiculous amount of money? I don't know. We'll see. Florida, they're on the hunt for a coach. This is kind of one of those, man, if you're watching this, you have nothing else better to do in life. But we'll see what happens.
All right. Well, speaking of nothing else better to do, let's talk about the NFL.
Especially that first game right there, the Saints and the Panthers. That sounds like a good day to read War and Peace right there. The Saints are miserable. They've won one ball game all year. They went out to the Rams and just got throttled. They go to Carolina. Right now, once again, the Saints are trending toward picking the number one player. They made trades this week. They traded off one of their offensive linemen, probably one of their better wide receivers. So that kind of tells you the Saints are in that mode of like, hey, we know where we're at right now. So a lot of mess down in the New Orleans, and it's going to be a pretty big rebuilding project.
Well, Atlanta Falcons versus Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah, Colts finally got beat this past week, and they're a 2-loss team going up against the Falcons. Falcons are tough to figure out, or as I call them, the Fighting Todd Berries. They'll play really well one week, and then they just look miserable the next week. They lost by 1 point this past Sunday, but Falcons are tough to figure out. Tough road trip at Indy. So Colts should win that one, but it is the NFL. You never know.
You never know. All right, New England Patriots at Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Patriots probably the most improved team in the NFL. Bucks coming off the bye week. I like Tampa here. I really thought Baker Mayfield was going to be probably the front runner for MVP. He's kind of tailed off a little bit, but I like Tampa, especially at home right here.
Okay, and then the Baltimore Ravens at Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, Baltimore, since they had the injury there at quarterback, they were really struggling offensively. Now he is back, and we'll see how that works out with Minnesota. Minnesota got a big win against Detroit this past week, and Minnesota's always a tough home field there. They make a lot of noise in that dome. But Baltimore's playing, if there's a road team I'd pick in the NFL, probably Baltimore right here.
Okay. And every time I see Minnesota Vikings, I have that Lizzo song stuck in my head.
Every time.
That's probably the best press they've had in a decade is that song, and it's on everybody's mind.
Yeah.
But anyway, Los Angeles Rams at San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, Rams at San Francisco, and this is a good NFC West matchup right here. Of course, the 49ers coming off a bye week. Rams just whipped up on the Saints this past. This is a big game because the winner of this one gets a pretty decent leg up in the NFC West. That is a loaded division this year. I like San Fran at home. They've been riddled with injuries this year, so Rams have been hit by some as well, but that'll be a tough football game. Those two always play each other extremely close.
Okay, Pittsburgh Steelers at Los Angeles Chargers.
This may be one of the better matchups this year. The Chargers have quietly had a fantastic season. Of course, Pittsburgh, they're one of those teams with Aaron Rodgers. They look really good for about 5 or 6 weeks. They've tailed off a little bit. I think a lot of people, when you get to this midway point in the season, a lot of NFL teams, trade deadline stuff, and, of course, injuries start to catch up with them. And Pittsburgh has just slowed down a good bit. But Chargers are kind of one of those quiet teams folks need to keep their eyes out for. Of course, Coach Harbaugh, coming from Michigan out there to the Chargers, has done an amazing job. So.
And speaking of Michigan, did we talk about Michigan at all?
They got a bye week this week.
Bye week, okay.
Yeah,
That's right. You did mention
Yeah, they're a bye week.
I just want to make sure we make Bill happy.
Yeah, we got to make the Michigan folks happy.
Yeah.
Well,
Look it out for Bill.
Well, the folk.
the one person in Meridian.
The folk.
All right. Well, Rob, okay, so out of the NFL, what was your game to watch with the NFL?
NFL, probably, I would probably say that Pittsburgh Charger game would probably be the one I would like. I know the national pundits would probably say the 49er Ram game, but I would probably say just Pittsburgh and LA, that's a tough one to pick. I think that's the one I'd love to watch. So out of all those.
Okay, and then we're watching, you said Georgia at Mississippi State.
Yeah, I think that's the big one this week. This is a big turning point right here because if State wins, If somehow they pull this upset and win, they would be bowl eligible. Isn't that amazing? They won 2 games a year ago. They lost to Toledo by 30-something points, which never happens, and they would rebound that fast and get bowl eligible. They still have other opportunities. They go to Missouri next week and, of course, the Egg Bowl down the road. But, yeah, that's obviously the big game of the week. If LSU were better with a functioning coach, the Alabama-LSU game would be the game of the week. But since that situation has changed so dramatically with the firing of Brian Kelly and how just horrible they've been, got to be State and Georgia.
Okay. And then did we talk about your game to watch for high school?
Yeah, high school, with playoffs going this week, obviously I would probably say West Lauderdale and Morton because we cover that game. And also it's unusual West Lauderdale opens on the road like they are. And, of course, I got to give some love to Russell Christian. They're playing for a championship this week, too. We don't want to discount that.
That's right.
But, we're going to find out a lot about our county schools because I think everybody in Lauderdale County outside of Russell Christian that has made the playoffs this week are all on the road. Yeah. So that is a tough chore right there. So there's going to be a lot of buses rolling tomorrow night. So definitely safe travels for everybody.
Yeah, it might be the last time they roll.
That's right. For the season. That's right.
All right. Well, before we go, we do want to give another quick shout out to our sponsors here. I'll start it off with Tammy Thompson's Bell Bonds 101. Tammy is always on call, serving Lauderdale, Clark, Newton, and surrounding counties. She has got a free confidential consultation and offering 24/7 support. You can visit her at 600 Constitution Avenue in downtown Meridian or call 601-513-9588 anytime. And Tammy will get you hooked up.
Absolutely.
She's got all the information for you, and she'll help you out.
Thank you, Tammy.
Yes, thank you, Tammy.
Also, a big thank you is going out to Jason and the staff at All-Star Team Sports. And, folks, they can get you anything as far as a uniform is concerned. Never too early to think about your travel baseball and softball teams for uniforms along those lines. They can customize anything down there.
Bags,
bags. anything. You name it, they can do it down there. Even some of your cups, like they can put a design on those. Anything. They can do it down at All-Star Team Sports. That's 601-483-7385, located near downtown Meridian. And I always say this, shop local with your sporting goods and shop at All-Star Team Sports. Always good to keep the money right here in East Mississippi.
For sure. And we also want to give a shout out to Ujjwal Kumar with Dillard's Men's Department at Uptown Meridian. Give him a call at 601-686-1129 or simply go to Dillard's, go to the men's section and ask for Ujjwal. He is an expert in men's fashion. He can help you get a brand new look, or he can freshen up what you already have. He's very personal and attentive, and we love Ujjwal. Thank you, Ujjwal, for sponsoring.
Absolutely. He's done a lot of great work making people look a lot better, especially that guy with no shoes on. Can't believe they took a picture with no shoes on.
We're going to have to crop it. We'll crop it next time.
Put some like cartoon shoes on me or something.
Yeah, we'll Photoshop them.
Put the Ronald McDonald shoes. The big floppy red shoes. I love it.
Okay, next week that better be on.
There you go. Also, big thanks to Bill and the staff down at Brickhaus Brewtique. There you see the website, brickhausbrewtique.com. Of course, they're right in the heart of downtown Meridian, located at 2206 Front Street. Of course, they have the largest selection of craft beer in Mississippi and some seriously good handcrafted food. Of course, Brickhaus is the spot whether you're catching the game, hanging out with friends, or just kicking back after a long week. Brickhaus has you covered. And, of course, Bill always has to remind everyone, go blue, even though they're not playing this week, the Wolverines of Michigan. Yeah. And, of course, it's where Meridian goes to unwind at Brickhaus.
It's where I went to unwind on Halloween. Nice.
Beautiful. Look at you. Look at you.
It's all Bill. All right, guys. Well, as always, just make sure you like and subscribe and leave a comment. You can find this on QueenCityNewsFeed.com, the Queen City Newsfeed YouTube channel. You can also listen to it wherever podcasters stream. It's on Apple Podcasts, iHeart, Podchaser, Boomplay, Amazon, Spotify, all those things. And
it's everywhere.
Yeah, and actually, I'm cutting off most of the list. I could just keep going and tell you where all it's listed. But,
as I always say, the fun part about that and more.
Right, and more. But we're also going to have those football scores posted, as soon as they all come out, and we'll get those up on the Queen City Newsfeed Facebook page. And we appreciate everybody. We also want to give a shout out to our producers, Mackenzie Joyner and Nickie Farmer. And we are filmed live right here in studio at Digio Strategies Meridian. So,
Fantastic.
anything else you want to say, Rob?
That's pretty much it. Good luck to all of our area teams. State championship runs start now. And good luck to everybody. Safe travels. And also band and cheerleaders, you guys have a great night as well. Always support them.
All right, guys. Well, we'll see you back here same time, same place next week. Thank you for watching.